Okay. Action. Okay. As promised, we're going to fix the bike tyre, repair the puncture. So without further delay, let's go do that. Okay. So to repair a bike tyre, it's quite simple. We just have to take the wheel off, take the tyre off, find the inner tubing, put a little bit of air in there if we can't find a thorn or something, see if we can find the cause of the puncture. Pump a little bit of air into the tyre, then run the tube through some water and see if we can see any bubbles. We might have to do that. We might be able to just find where it's punctured. Normally there's just a little thorn or something. And we've got the puncture repair kit. So let's see if we can find this puncture. Okay, there's no sign of any sort of thorns or anything sticking through the actual tread, which is good. But it also doesn't seem to be going down much from this. I never tried to pump it up again, but I did notice that the end of this is a bit bent and it's leaking air like that. So I wonder whether, rather than actually being punctured, if it is in fact has just gone down by pressure, this little screw not being upright and pressure going on that. There's a bit of air in the tube now, so I'm just gonna see if I can find a puncture of any sort, but there seems to be no markings on the tube and I can't hear anything. Let's try it with some water. So my bike repair has been interrupted by sewage. We've got a bit of a disaster here. It's going to need cleaning up. The damn drain is overflowing. It stinks. So, well, I just thought I'd just include that. So as it turns out, there's no puncture. Doesn't seem to be. False alarm. However, I did notice the bend there meant that the little twist top that you undo to pump up the tyre was just slightly loose and not tightened, so that when there was pressure on the end, air was escaping. So I think that was it. It just slowly leaked out of the Presta or Schrader valve. I actually don't know which is which right now off the top of my head. I think that's a Presta valve. But either way, just going to pump it back up now, so we're all good. Well, I tried once to repair the bike tyre and find a puncture. I couldn't find a puncture. I found a little tear near where the valve used to pump up the tyre hadn't gone through the tube, it had just worn away a bit, so I put some glue around that and blew the tyre up, and it seemed to stay up. But I came back the next day and it was flat again, so there must be a slow puncture of some sort. So I'm gonna have to go back and find it, which is perfect because I also want to talk about a book I once read, or tried to read, called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. I was just given it and tried starting to read it, and it was a really difficult book and I didn't really understand anything. But there were two useful things I do remember from it. One was about this idea of quality. This is a metaphysics of quality. Just what does the word quality mean? It's a bit like beauty. You know, lots of things are beautiful. They can be very different things, but they all have the same quality of beauty. And in this book, he's trying to talk about how to do things with quality. And the other one is gumption. And he's talking about when you're being creative or trying to fix a problem, you only have so much gumption for that. And if you run out of motivation or gumption, you're going to get frustrated, and then you're going to work that into your creativity. Or, for example, you might be writing and you're in this certain mood. Your writing will reflect that mood. And so if you're trying to repair a bike and you've come up against a problem you can't fix, and you just keep trying to hammer at it, you're going to end up breaking things or doing more damage. So better to just take a break, whatever it takes to refill your gumption. So Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance, or in this case bicycle maintenance. So whatever, let's go fix the bike. Well, there's really no sign of a puncture, except for this here. There's that little split right in there by the valve, and I think there must just be a slow enough puncture there. So I'm going to glue that. I'm going to use a different tube for now until I properly find out whether this is fixed or not. But for the meantime, just going to dry that off a bit and glue it up once again and hope for the best. But that's it. Hopefully it works.